Hello and welcome to Spirit Touched. We're back in the war room. There are two more war rooms. One is the hospital room where prayers go up from those sick beds and by those who visit. The same is true of the waiting room while family and friends wait for news of their loved one. Then, though, there's the one at the White House where the red alert phone sits on the desk. It's called the Situation Room and the Safe Room. It has everything the president and his advisors need to stay in touch with the military, commanders who are out in the field in crisis situations here or when we are at war. The war room is also a classroom. It's where we learn how to use those hammers to tear down those strongholds. It's where our commanders go over the battlefield mistakes and figure out how to fix them. It's a soundproof room. Everything said in there is secret. It's only allowed to be repeated outside the room to those who need to know on a need to know basis. Why? Because it pertains to our national security. Only people with the highest security clearance are even allowed in that room, and they are the only ones who know exactly where it's located along with the security code to open the door. When that room is in use, there are Secret Service agents outside the door the entire time. When we are in our war room, our angels are outside the door guarding us because what we are doing in it pertains to our spiritual security. Do not take your cell phone in there. While you are in there, have the phone turned off or on the charger. Think of that as your charging station because while you are in there, you are getting charged up and ready to face whatever this world throws at you for the rest of the day. Take your Bible, your prayer journal, and something to take notes on. Oh, and for those who are parents, put the do not disturb sign on the doors so that your full attention is on Jesus and what you are doing in that war room with him. There's a hymn that says, "A charge to keep I have, a God to glorify." While we are in our war room, the God we glorify gives us that charge for us to keep. Whatever he tells us to do while we're in there is to be done no matter. We will answer him if we don't keep that. We will answer to him if we don't keep that charge. The answer to that charge, what it should be, "Yes, sir, whatever you say, sir, right away, sir. I'll get right on it." Because whatever he asks us to do in that room is important to him. We do not want to be guilty of insubordination with him. Our duty is to carry out his orders without question. Someone's physical or spiritual life may depend on doing what he asks of you in that war room. Matthew 8, 5 through 13. I know because one day, years after my high school years, the Lord dropped a teacher's name in my head. I found out a few days later in a letter that the very day I was praying for him, he was dying. It's time to get in our war rooms, throw down the gauntlet, and put Satan on notice that God's team of warriors are on the job. None of us really like conflict or confrontation. When it comes along, there are proper ways to handle it. The war room is the place to learn those. The best one is just to place it in the Master's hands and ask for his will to be done. There's one final war room, very important. It's the hospice war room, where life's last war is fought along with those amazing, dedicated angel hospice nurses. If your family or someone you know needs that service, you may call Community Hospice of Texas at 817-870-2795. I know how kind and compassionate they are because they cared for my mother as she fought her last war. These nurses are also mighty prayer warriors. Their service is covered by insurance, corporate donations, and love offerings. They treat their patient and family members and visitors with dignity and respect. They explain everything they do for the patient so that you understand what's going on. They even let family members cry on their shoulder and pray with them. They give in-home hospice care via doctor referral. These nurses consider it their ministry because for them it is, and they love what they do. You may send your prayer request to heanswerstwo@gmail.com.